Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the Bassbreaker 15. Now, if you're like me, you've been waiting since October of 2015 to see this Bassbreaker 15. We know it's different, so let's talk about what's different. We know it's not like the Bassbreaker 7, the 1830, or the 45. It's a unique amp. So let's see what separates it. First off, it is a larger amp than the 7. It's about a little bit bigger than the Blues Junior in that size. It is 15 watts like the Blues Junior, and it is a one-channel amp like the Blues Junior. But then, this is where it changes. It has an effects loop, and it has reverb. The reverb is not spring like the Blues Junior. It is a digital reverb, but it sounds fantastic. Everybody has different opinions of reverbs. Here's my opinion on reverb. Even spring reverb isn't real reverb. Real reverb is a room, or a canyon, or, you know, an arena. So all reverb spring is some kind of analog copy of that. So why is digital so much worse when it's just a copy as well? But to each their own. I don't dislike or like spring versus digital. I just don't have any, I don't share in the disgust of digital reverb. Let's just say that. I'm fine with it either way. Okay, so the reverb is good. The amp tone, clean tones obviously are there. So, sounds like an amazing amp. Well, let's talk about a couple of issues we have right off the bat. The first thing I want to talk about is it has this three-way rotary switch. See it right here? And what's great is you can get this clean channel, and then you can switch it to that mid section right there, and you get a harder tone. Well, right off the bat, it is super loud. So you need to seriously turn down the volume. Seriously. Okay? And then, if you want to make use of it, you got to kind of turn the gain up. So it sounds great though. In fact, let's go back to that switch again. Let's go ahead and take it to the furthest end of it, which is the higher gain, and juice that gain even more. And again, now you have to reach over and turn down the volume again. Each time the amp's getting louder. Lots of volume. Again, for a 15 watt, it's pretty dang loud. So that's really cool. So the first question I had was, is that rotary switch digital? Well, let's look inside. Okay, so here is the Bassbreaker 15. I'm opening it up because I want to see inside. But mostly what I'm curious about is a couple things. See those, whoops, see those CPUs right there? You can see them. Oh, it's so hard to see. There you go, right there. What I want to know is on this rotary switch, right here, when it's going from basically a cleaner to dirty to more dirty, I want to know if that is a DSP or if that's legit. And when you look at the switch, which is right here, you know, see this right here? This switch lines up right there. Those are your outputs. And when you watch them, one goes back to an input, one is going to this section over here, which is then jumping over to a preamp tube, and the other one is going to this other preamp tube. None of the switches relays, none of the switches relays, you see the switch right there, right here, none of these relays are going to any of the DSPs, or should I say the CPU units, CPU, see it? That all, who knows what that could be. That could be for sound, or that could be for obviously this Lineout stuff. So everything looks legit. 3 preamp tubes, right? So you need 1 preamp tube for the push-pull on these 2 power tubes. And they have a schematic here, but it doesn't really say what they're doing. It just says you have 3 12x7s. So obviously that relay switch is stacking these, is what it looks like. Okay, I feel pretty confident that the amp is a legit tube now. We saw 1 preamp tube that's most likely assigned to the 2 power tubes, like a push-pull, and 2 preamp tubes that are somehow probably assigned to be stacked, or some kind of tone circuit where maybe they're eliminating one and putting one in, which is a really cool concept if that's what it's doing. The CPUs in there are most likely the digital reverb that we saw, and of course some kind of line out technology that helps emulate the line out on the amp. That's probably what they're doing. So let's talk about what's good about it. What's good about it is it's 15 watts. You can get it into 112 combo. It could play any situation, any gig. It has a line out ability. You can run your effects if you want to run the gain. You can actually put your delays inside of it, which is nice, and tremolos and stuff. It's relatively priced right. It's $650 for a 112 combo and $600 for the head, $599. It's made in Mexico in Fender's facility. It's got a cool look about it, so that's really cool. Let's talk about some of the negatives. Well, $650 for the combo is a little tough because you can get a Hot Rod Deluxe for $7. So about $50 to $70 more for the Hot Rod Deluxe. I actually think the distortion on this is a little nicer, but I don't think it's nicer than a Hot Rod Deluxe with a pedal in front of it. I really do enjoy the pedal. Now, if your goal is you don't want any pedals anymore and you want to go to the gig and just have a one-stop shop amp, you can do that. But keep in mind the 15 watts, I pushed it in the clean mode in 15 and it started getting that breakup sound like a Blues Junior. Do I like it more than the Blues Junior? I do. I do like it more than the Blues Junior. Even just in the clean mode, I liked it more than the Blues Junior. I thought it had kind of a nicer character. And if you're wondering what I'm running through a Marshall 212. I pretty much run everything in the video through a Marshall 212. Everybody's got a different opinion about what you should do in a video, how you should mic it, how you should do it. All I really care about in the video when I watch it is that it sounded like what I thought it sounded like here in the room. That's all I care about. If I watch the video before I launch it and I think you guys are hearing what I'm hearing, then I'm fine. I just don't want you to hear something that's not there. So very cool amp. If you had a Blues Junior, do I think you should sell it and get this? No. I think that and a pedal, and you have this in a second. So there you go. Do I think you should buy this over the 7 watt? Here's the problem with that. Me personally, now that I've played both, I love the 7 watt a lot more, just for me. The Class A 7 watt distortion on that amp just sounds really nice. And it has a kind of a magic to it that I really enjoyed. Where this is more polished like the Super Champ X2, which as you know is a really good amp that I like. In fact, I put that as my top pick amp for that price range. But that's also the problem. I'll go on record saying this. Me personally, I'd buy the Super Champ X2 for $300 over this for $600. So I'm going to finish out the video with some sound clips. So let's listen to the sound clips and we'll actually mic the cabinet up and we'll fade out with that. Okay, so there's some sound samples, you get the idea. It's a great amp. Here's my only issue with the amp. It's a fantastic amplifier. It's Fender, it's warranted, and it's hard to beat. Now, if you're gonna ask me, because it's gonna happen, what amp do I recommend you looking at if you're looking at this amp? I think the direct competition out there is the PV Classic 20. I hate to say it, the Classic 20, 5 more watts, switchable down to 5, switchable down to 1. It's just as clean. Totally foot switchable from a clean channel that is just as good as this, with a dirty channel just as good as this, with a boost function on the foot switch on both channels, which is nice. Both kind of have digital reverb. It's $100 less. However, here's the thing. So it's smaller, it looks as cool, it's got more features, and I can't say that I would not pick that over this. But the only thing you want to factor in is Fender's 5-year warranty is bulletproof. So if that's something you're concerned about when you buy and make a purchase, Fender has a much better track record than PV for sure when it comes to taking care of people. So that's the downfall of PV on that. I'm just being honest, you know, right? I love the PV Classic 20, and I was hoping this was going to annihilate it, knock it out, but it didn't. So, all right, guys, I hope that was a helpful video. As always, thank you for your time and know your gear.